Hi guys. In the last two lessons, we did the two formula that you need to know in matric. The F formula for future value and the P formula for present value. Now, so very easy. But now there's a few little changes and arrangements that we can do with these two formula. It still stays the two formula. And if you concentrate very well, you'll see this is really not complicated. You just need to think carefully what you're doing. After this lesson, we're going to do different payments. So you're not going to always start the payment at the end of the month. You remember I said you get your salary at the end of the month, so then you start paying back. Or if you do an investment, you start at the end of the month and you start paying money into the bank account. But now we're going to do if you start right in the beginning or if it ends different times, so there can be a little variation on it. So there's what we're going to do in this lesson. Now, when you do payments in the beginning, with all monthly payments, we normally do it at the end of a period, but sometimes it's going to be at the start, so at the beginning. Sometimes the compound periods is going to change. So remember also to change, let me just highlight this. If there's an effective rate, you must always convert to the nominal rate. A little bit of summary that you did in grade 11. Banks do not charge effective interest rate, they charge the normal nominal interest rate, and that is the one that belongs into all your formulae. So if they by accident or because they want to test you, give you an effective interest rate before you start your problem, you change it to a nominal or a normal rate. And also a timeline, especially here when you start at different times paying back or stop before the end of the normal slot, you need to do it on a timeline. It helps a lot. Good. So here's the summary of all your symbols. You should know it by now. X is the regular, normally monthly payment. Normally it's monthly. P is the present value in the beginning. This is what you start off with. F is at the end in the future. Now, you heard this many times. It's also in grade 11 we did it. I is the interest rate. Normally it's per month, especially in the two matric formulae, because it's monthly amounts that we invest or that we pay back. And N is the number of payments. So it's the same stuff that you've done in grade 11. Now there are different scenarios. So let's look at the first one. If your payments start after one time period, now normally it's after 1 month, and finish at the end of N time periods, then it's the normal F formula or P formula. So there you see the two formula. Now you can clearly see the difference between the two. They look very much alike. The F formula just has the round bracket first and then -1. The other bracket, the P1 has got 1 minus, then the round bracket. And the power is to the power of -n. Be very careful that you do not leave out that minus, because remember they are reverse workings. Good, so there are your two formulae. That's the normal formulae. If we start our payments at the end of the month and we end, like you see there, we start there at the end of the first month, and we stop there at the very end, the last payment on the nth payment. So if it's a timeline like this, nothing to worry about. You just write down your two formulae, whichever one it is for that specific sum, and you substitute the values. Now, if the payment starts immediately, and this happens lots of times, now there are two different scenarios. Firstly, let's look at the F formula. The F formula is for future value. Now, because I start paying immediately, as I say, this is not a normal thing that happens, and I end as the normal the very last month, at the end of the very last month. Do you agree with me there's one extra payment? Because normally for my F formula, I start at the end of the first month, but now there's an extra payment, that the one underneath 0. So for that little month, I need to add that payment, and I need to add the payment's interest. So that is why my N changed now to N+1. You're not going to change your formula, but your value that you put into the formula will not just be the N formula, it will be the N+1. And it's a very logical thing. So just think carefully of what I'm saying. If you start right in the beginning of the month, which is not supposed to be, the formula starts at the end of the month, you've got one extra month that you've made a payment, and a payment involves interest. That is why you must add a 1 to your little n, because there's an extra payment and there's an extra. And remember, the 1 stands for the payment, 1 times the payment, and the I stands for the interest. So there's an extra month of payment and there's an extra month of interest. The same for the P formula, but also for the P formula. If you start paying immediately, you can deduct that as a deposit. You remember in grade 11 you did deposits? So I'm just going to write here, if I've got space, or subtract as a deposit. So either you can do the same with the P formula, just add a little one. Just remember, if you do that, that n plus 1 is in a bracket because there's a minus right in front of it. So I think actually the easier way, if you start paying immediately on a loan, then it's like a deposit. You know what a deposit is. I want to take out a loan of 10,000 Rand, but I've got 1,000 Rand. So I'm going to give it to you. So that is my deposit. And then you'll only make the loan on 9,000 Rand, and you don't have to fiddle with the P formula. You can just do the normal P formula without adding the plus 1. So that's maybe a better idea, to subtract rather that first payment as a deposit. Good. And then the last one. If the payments start immediately there and they end 1 month before they're supposed to end. They end 1 month before they're supposed to end. Now, if you now think carefully, let's say it is 4 years. Times 12 is 48 months. Let's say it's 48 months. So overall, you are doing the investment or the loan over 48 months. It's supposed to start at the end of 1 month. It's supposed to end at the very end, and that will give you the 48. Can you see everything moved forward 1 month now? The start moved forward 1 month. The end payment moved forward 1 month. But do you agree with me? It's still 48 payments. That is why you'll see the end stays just the same. The end stays just the same. But that first payment that I'm making, there, is an extra payment and it needs extra interest. So the best way of doing that is to take your little X amount, multiply it with 1 plus I. That means 1 times that payment plus the I plus the interest on that payment. Now you've got the beginning amount at the end of month 1. And then you can do the normal formula further. So I'm going to say it slowly again. If you start 1 month earlier and you stop 1 month earlier, it means the N is going to be for the same lot of months. The N is going to just stay the same N. That is why in your formula you just see the normal N. But because I've started immediately and there's a month that is now extra interest, you will add it to the X. Not add it to, you'll multiply it by the X. So you'll say 1 times X is the amount, plus the I times X is the interest on that amount, and then you'll just do the normal formula. Good. Best way is to do an example. So let's do this example. Zola is in grade 10, starts working at the fast food outlet in order to save for a deposit for a car. So she wants to save for a deposit for a car. So immediately, is it the F or the P formula? She wants to save. She's not taking out a loan. She wants to save. So you agree with me? It's the F formula. Good. To save for the deposit for a car, she saves 250 Rand per month. Per month means it's the little amount. Little x is the little amount. Remember, if we use the A capital P formula, it's big amounts. Once off, big amount, capital letters. The little x is a small letter, so it represents small amounts. Per month for 3 years, there's your N. At 8.5%, there's your I, compounded monthly. So I know immediately my I and my N needs to be monthly. Good. Starting immediately. Okay, let's do that timeline. So this is year 0, and this is year, how many years? 3 years. This is year 3. She starts immediately paying the little X amount. For the next month, she's paying X amount. So let's just read again to see if we've covered everything. She starts working in order to save for a deposit for a car. He saves 250 Rand per month for 3 years at 8.5% per annum. So let's do that. 8.5% is 0.85. Be very carefully. Monthly. So divided by 12, it's not 0.85, it's 0.085. Now, I said this so many times, I'm very sure you're not going to make that silly mistake. The N is for 3 years, but it's months, so it is 36. Okay, but now they say he starts paying immediately. So there's an extra month of money and interest, not just your normal start at the end of the month, end at the last period. So I need to make my N 36 plus 1, which is 37. Why is that? That little amount there, that little month there, I need to add another amount with its interest, and that is why the N will then become N plus 1. So I'm going to do my normal formula. F is equal to X 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 over I. I'm going to fill it in. The amount is 250. 1 plus the I is 0.085 over 12 to the power of, be very careful, 37 minus 1 over 0.085 over 12. You see the two i's are exactly the same. That's why I just write them on top of one another. Now again, I'm not working it out. I'm just leaving it like that on my calculator. I will slot in everything. You know by now how to slot all of this into your calculator. Just make very sure that you've added 1 to the N. Can you see I did not add it on my formula? I just added it when I worked out my I and my N. And why did I add a 1? Because they said I'm starting immediately. And if you click all of this on your calculator, you're going to get the amount of 10,532,99. Now, in real life situation, you'll just round it up to 10,533. But this is now the technical part, so I need to use the proper rounding off for my cents. Good. And let's see if it makes sense. 10,000 Rand, if you only save 250 Rand a month, only for 3 years, it's very possible to get 10,500 Rand after your 3 years. So the only difference between this one and all the previous ones, because he started paying immediately, I needed to add a little 1 to my end period. Good. Very easy. Just something to remember. You just need to remember. So you must make yourself a little summary. If I start immediately like those, there's actually 3 pages of nice summary. You can just do it shortcut on an extra sheet of paper so that you can see it immediately. Make your own little summary. If I start immediately, I need to add 1. Good. After you've done it, you'll see there's the whole problem. Everything is slotted in. There's your whole summary. The N is 37, and you can just check it carefully. Good. If I look at this, a payment of 1,000 Rand is made at the beginning of every month into a pension fund. Stop just there. I'm making this payment into a pension fund because in the end, I want my pension. That means it's a future value that I want. So I know immediately I'm going to use the F formula. The X is the little amount of money. Let's just write it there. The X is the little amount of money, 1,000 Rand. It's not thousands or millions. At the beginning of every month into a pension fund to provide for retiring. How much will the annuity be worth at the end of 15 years? There's your N. If the nominal interest rate is just the normal interest rate is 10% per annum, that's your I, compounded monthly. No payment is made at the end of the last month. Okay, that is a little bit different. So let's do our timeline. Let's just quickly see, do I have my 3 ticks? 1, 2, 3 ticks. I have my 3 pieces of information. What are they asking? How much will the annuity be worth at the end? So what are they asking? Annuity means the F formula at the end in the future. How much will it be worth? So there's your 3 pieces given. There's your unknown F. Good, but before I do that, let's do the timeline. Let's read again. A payment of 1,000 Rand is made at the beginning. So there's the first one, year 0. So every month, they're investing 1,000 Rand into a pension fund for 15 years, year 15. Good. Now, before I go any further, let's just get my I. My I was 10%, so 0.1, compounded monthly, so I need to divide by 12. Therefore, my N, which is 15 years, needs to be multiplied by 12. And that gives me, let me quickly do it. 15 times 12, I think is 180. It is 180. Good. Now I'm doing that because I need to work in months all the time. But my last payment is 1,000 rand. Is it now? Oh, no. Nope. See how carefully you must read. Normally my last payment is at the very end, but I must read. No payment is made at the end of the last month. So I need to take that off. No payment is made there. That means they stopped there on year 14. The last payment was there. Now let's quickly check. Normally, I start at the end of the first month and I end at the very end of my timeline. That is for my normal formula. So what happened now? Everything just moved one forward. The first payment moved to the beginning of the month. The last payment moved to the beginning or the end of the second last month. So do you agree with me? The amount of payments are going to be just the same. It's just going to be 180 payments. But that very first 1,000 rand that I put into the bank is 1,000 rand plus its interest. So that is why when I do my formula, let's just do the formula first. When I do my formula, I need to, when I do that 1,000 rand there, I need to slot in an extra amount of interest for that first month because this first month is not supposed to be there. You're supposed to start at the end of the month. So I need to put an extra amount there. It's still 180. Where's, oh, wait, not, you see, concentrate. I'm not in the bracket yet. Now I make my big bracket. 1 plus I, which is 0.1 over 12, to the power of 180. I worked it out there, 180 on the right-hand side, minus 1, all over 0.1 over 12. Now that I there, I can just as well make 0.1 over 12, because remember, I'm doing monthly interest. So there on the right-hand side, I did my monthly interest. So there it is, 1 plus the I is then 0.1 over 12. So the only thing different from your normal F formula is that you slot in an extra bracket after the 1,000 for that first month's interest. So if you do that on your calculator, maybe we should just do this one because it's a bit more complicated. You do your fractiony button here on the very left-hand side. You slot in 1,000, make sure about the noughts, bracket, 1 plus fraction 0.1 over 12. Make sure, look at your calculator's display. So that it says 0.1 over 12. Go with your cursor to the right-hand side, close your bracket. Now I make another bracket next to it. And another bracket. Can you see there's actually a square bracket and a round bracket? But my calculator only has round brackets. So I make 2 round brackets, and in the one I slot 1 plus fraction, which is 0.1 over 12. Go to the right-hand side of my sum. Finish the bracket to the power of 180. Make sure if you're on the exponent that you go with the cursor to the right-hand side on normal numbers, minus 1. And very important, close your bracket now. Many times if you're in a hurry, you don't close that bracket. And when you then get to your answer equals, it will say error. If it says error, mostly it's because you left out a bracket. Then you go to the bottom. The bottom is just a normal fraction. You slot in that fraction, 0.1 over 12, and you press your equal sign. And that gives you F is equal to rands 417,924 rand and 27 cents. So it's 417 rand over 15 years if you put in 1,000 rand, and your interest rate is 10%, which makes sense. Good. So again, it's the one and only F formula. The only thing that differs a little bit is when you start and when you stop paying. So go through those 3 pages that I showed you in the beginning, the summary. Make sure that you instill it in your mind. Go on a clean sheet of paper, and that's why I'm taking off these answers. Redo this all on your own without getting a hint. Because the minute you look at the answer and you see that X times a little bracket, oh yes, X times a little bracket, but you're not going to remember it in a test or exam if you don't think it for yourself. So make sure you think it for yourself. There's the timeline, there's the answer, And remember, we always give you, I'm just going to go back to the answer. You can check everything in detail there. Everything is written out neatly there, so you can check everything in detail. And then when you do your exercises, make sure that you get to the yellow answer at the bottom. Some extra practice. We've got 2 pages of extra practice so that you can really get a lot of practice on the different scenarios when you start and when you stop. So it's very important in the future that you not just only read the 3 things known and the 1 unknown. You also need to read where do you start your payment and where do you stop. And that is the best way to do on a timeline. I'll see you next time.